Children in the community will soon be strapping on their helmets and cycling off-road trails. It's thanks to Brown County contributing the final round of funding to complete the Mountain Bike Skills Park project at Baird Creek. In this First Alert update, Emily Riley shares how the park will help kids and families in the area explore new terrain.
An exciting new cycling scene is now launching into motion, with county leaders presenting a donation of $35,000 to the Baird Creek Preservation Foundation Wednesday at the Triangle Hill Sports Area. It's funding to put finishing touches on a recreational space that's not your typical park.
The topography of the Baird Creek Greenway is not great for kids trying to learn how to bike. So there was a need to have basically a training grounds for kids to come out and learn mountain biking skills that didn't put them in the middle of the trails to start with.
The project is 3 years in the making. Baird Creek currently has a beginner, intermediate, and an advanced track, but still needs to complete additional features and put together training camps. Holly Baseman, the executive director of the Baird Creek Preservation Foundation, says the Skills Park will draw people from outside the area as well as serve those who live here.
Everything from the Boys and Girls Club to the PALS program, foster kids, there's just a whole plethora of kids that we want to get out here on bikes.
The project hopes to encourage children to spend less time in front of a screen and more time enjoying the outdoors. Nick Rozek from Pete's Garage in Green Bay says he hopes the new skills park will get more kids playing outside and grow interest in mountain biking.
I think there's a big misconception that you've got to go out to the Rockies or out east to get really great mountain biking. But even in just northeast Wisconsin, we have really awesome trails. People are always doing more work, whether it's 50 miles away or right within our town.
Baseman anticipates the project will be completed and open to bikers by this spring. In Green Bay, Emily Riley, Action 2 News.